waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. Waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
Can you turn your light off? Oh, yeah, it's hard for me to sleep like this.
I'm almost over this chapter. I got about 30 more minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
I can't sleep. Oh, all right.
A few moments later.
Babe, I mean, it's been 10 minutes. Can you please shut it off? I got to wake up early in the morning.
I have about 20 more minutes on this chapter. This is my only time to read.
I understand, but I have to get up early in the morning. Can you just read in the morning? I mean, I have a lot I have to do tomorrow.
Didn't you just get a sleep mask?
You know what? You right.
Use it.
Manta sleep, baby.
I don't know how you sleep with that thing on.
It's actually comfortable. Pitch black. I don't have to worry about your light. I'll be able to sleep just fine.
Well, enjoy it. Looks good on you.
This actually feels good. Oh, good night, baby.
Good night, baby.
Love you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, check out Manta Sleep. The link to the website is in the description of this video. Make sure that you use promo code TDPHINSTALK. That is TDPHINSTALK. Again, make sure you check them out. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. If you can't sleep when it's bright, these masks will turn out the light. Manta Sleep. Check them out.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I hope you all are having a blessed day, a great day. Man, OTAs day 2. First and foremost, we want to start out with Mike McDaniel, who spoke today in the press conference. He had a lot of interesting things to say. I'm going to get you all caught up on all of that news and break down everything that he said. And then as the OTA news starts to come in, we'll be hitting that at some point today as well. But again, make sure that you punch the like button on your way in the building. We have exclusive content that will be coming to the Patreon soon. So make sure you go subscribe to the Patreon. And ladies and gentlemen, shout out to all the members of the channel and shout out to all the entire mod squad. I appreciate your continued love and support. One last time, please punch that like button, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Scant Dollar? What up, Scott Jackson? How are you? Can't believe Mike said what he said. Miller Hendricks said that. Did he say something outlandish? I thought everything was on the up and up. Trav said the Tua haters are thick today, man. Yeah, they out here, man, especially online, man. I'm on Twitter and I'm like, man, they gotta stop. They gotta stop, coming at my quarterback like this. I don't like it. They put a top 10 quarterback list up, and they're gonna sit there and have the nerve to put our guy not even on the list. They had Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Rodgers, Jackson, Hurts, Lawrence, Cousins, and Prescott in the top 10. They disrespectful. Tua was the best quarterback in the NFL last year. Okay. Now, I ain't saying that's saying much, but he was the best quarterback in the NFL last year. Statistically, right? If he would have played the whole season, he would have probably outbeat everyone. But again, I'm not saying that to troll or anything like that. Because I will say no trolling. Okay. Real talk. He was the best quarterback in this division. He was at least the best quarterback in this division last year. And I don't care. They say you're going to die on that hill. He was. And I ain't even trying to sit here and try to give him props. I'm just saying he was. Josh Allen was trash. Josh Allen was straight trash. I done wasted water all on my MacBook just now. Maybe I am talking blasphemy. But Josh Allen was trash. Them bums over there and with the Jets, nobody could contend. Aaron Rodgers he wasn't trash, but he wasn't Aaron Rodgers. And Patriots, that's neither here nor there. And I've been saying that lately, and that ain't me trying to big ups Tua. It's just the truth. It's just the truth, man, in my opinion. But, people, this guy, he always attacking Tua. Now he want to be fake and say he was the best quarterback in the division. The truth is the truth. That doesn't mean that I believe long-term in him, but he was the best quarterback in his division. Anyway, I'm not trolling, Jarvis. I'm dead serious. Go look at Josh Allen's year. He was trash. He was trash. Statistically, Tua would have been better if he played the whole season. Josh Allen had all the picks. Josh Allen, man, I'm not trolling right now. I'm dead serious. About this division, he was the best. TDSC and the light. Man, no, don't see, y'all, this is what gets me. I'm just being objective. I have my concerns with Tua. But just because I say he was the best quarterback in this division last year doesn't make me this, now you're on Tua's side thing. And I'm not on his side or off of his side. I'm just objective. He was the best quarterback in the division last year. I still got my concerns. I still know what he struggles at. I still know what I don't like about him. But he was the best quarterback in the division last year. And that's the honest truth. TD, are you pushing for more subs? Your take is ridiculous. All your past streams are calling out to a 35 touch. See, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is a perfect one. This is a perfect one. We gotta, I'm gonna hit this and then we're gonna get into business. 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 13-3, beats Tua sorry record. So now, because I tell the truth, I'm pushing for more subs. I can care less because I'm gonna be unapologetically honest about Tua every time. But 35 touchdowns, if Tua was healthy all season, he would have pretty much had the same thing, if not more. 14 interceptions, he wasn't going to have 14. He wasn't on pace for 14. He was on pace for about 11 or 12 at max. 13-3 wasn't because of Josh Allen. It was because, in large part, that defense as well. And when you look at Tua's trash games, and he had some, we're going to sit here and ignore all the trash games that Josh Allen had last year? All the games he struggled in? So how is it ridiculous, and how am I just pushing for subs? Trust me, Tua ears don't like me. I could praise Tua, they ain't going to subscribe to me. So I ain't doing this for subs. I'm just telling you the truth. He was the best quarterback in this division. Josh Allen did not have a great season. Let's call it what it is, man. Anyway, man. Now you want to talk injuries? You want to talk injuries? Yeah. Ain't no defense to that. That's another problem with Tua. But like I said, man, you can't tell me that he wasn't the best quarterback in the division last year. If you ain't been watching the AFC East roundtable, every video, the individual videos we release throughout the week from ranking players in the division and all of that, I'm making the same point. I'm making the same point. And hey, call me whatever you want to call me. I truly do believe he, and that ain't saying much because this division's quarterbacks were trash last year. So it ain't saying that much that he was the best one, but he was the best one in the division, including bringing Aaron Rodgers in. Just my thought. TD Allen said similar stats in 22 versus 2021. Allen said, I guess you said Allen had. I don't know what you mean. Allen said similar stats in 22 versus 21. I mean, I'm not sure. You got to rephrase it for me, Bree. Rephrase it for me. Okay. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up real quick. Give me a second. Y'all hit that like button, man. Oh, he said had similar stats. Well, now let's compare the stats, though, okay? This is where it throws me off. So Josh Allen has 63% completion percentage. Okay? He had 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and a 96.6 rating. That's what his stats were. Tua had a 105.5 rating, much more efficient. He had a higher completion percentage at 64.8. And again, 3,548 yards. Now, let's do the math, ladies and gentlemen. Tua played 12 games. Let me break out my calculator. Where is my calculator? Oh, somebody knocked it on the floor. Let's break out the calculator, okay? Tua had 3,548 yards in 12 games. 295 a game. We're going to multiply that by the 5 games he didn't play. And we're going to, based off of trajectory, we're going to add it on to what he had, 3,548. Tua was on pace for 5,000 yards. Tua was on pace for 5,000 yards. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Josh Allen threw for 4,200 yards with a lower completion percentage. Tua was on pace pretty much for the same touchdowns, less interceptions, and a higher rating. I can't be honest about that. And people, man, I don't know what to do. I tell you the truth, and it's favorable for Tua, people lose their mind. I tell you the truth, when it ain't favorable to it, people lose their mind. It is what it is. That's why I just got to be me. I just got to unapologetically be me. Just tell you what I think. Tell you what I think. So it is what it is, man. Like I said, he was better than Josh Allen last year. He was better than Josh Allen last year. And don't forget, for those who are saying, well, Josh Allen has similar numbers in 22 and 21. He was actually worse than 21. And that's why I've been saying what I've been saying for the longest, that he's a bum. Now, we know he ain't a bum, but he ain't what everybody make him out to be. The only saving grace in his overall stats is pretty much his rushing. The man ain't out here slinging the rock for 70% completion. He had one season of 69.2% completion. The best quarterbacks, come on, man, you got to at least be 65. Come on, man. In today's league, you should be pumping 65 at least, and I don't even look at that as great. Even Tua last year was 64.8. And I'm like, you got to at least be pumping 65. And look at Josh Allen's career completion percentage, 62.5. His rookie year, 52.8. His second year, 58.8. Then he jumped to 69.2. And ever since then, 2 years in a row, he's produced 63.3 twice. TD Allen ranked 7th for the year. Now, I get it. Again, it's because of the rushing yards. So, as a player or athlete overall, you could say, okay, Josh Allen's better than Tua, but at the quarterback position, just strictly doing your job behind the pocket, Tua was better last year. Now, I don't want to discount Josh Allen's rushing. I don't want to take that away, but I'm just talking about playing the position raw. And I ain't talking about you take away the designed runs. Because in those moments, he's a running back. These are all passing stats. Yeah, exactly. They are passing stats. They are. Let me see something real quick. Let's look at last year. Give me a second. I ain't even gonna bring it up. Well, I have to bring it up later. Meaning rushing was not involved in this stat. Which stat are you talking about, Bree? Which one are you talking about? Let me know which one you're talking about. TD, why are you trolling these people? Talk about Celtics in 7. Man, leave me alone, man. We already know what's going to happen starting tonight, baby. Anyway, we ain't going to get into that, okay? A whole lot of Buffalo fans in the building. Yeah, they going to be in the building because they don't like when I say this, but it's the truth. But I'm not finna go there anymore. Let's get to Mike McDaniel, okay? Let's get to what we're here to talk about, all right? All right, so Mike McDaniel had his press conference today. They're in OTAs right now. So let's break down what was said by Mike McDaniel. First and foremost, he gave the recognition to the Miami Heat and the Panthers for doing a lot of things that people said they couldn't do, including me. He said, I very much appreciate what they're doing, and we are taking notes. Basically, look at what they're doing. People say they can't do it, man. We're taking notes. That's how we want to be here in Miami. And honestly, he knows that's what we're gonna have to be in Miami. All right. He also went on to talk about, they asked him about Brandon Jones and Nick Needham in their timeline. He just pretty much said, they're not rushing anything, but he will give us a nugget that they're on schedule, if not ahead, but allow the process to do what it does. Okay. Just allow the process to take hold. Then they asked about Trill Williams, that there was a family member who tweeted out that Trill Williams is now playing safety. And he commented on that. He said, it's powerful being able to have versatility in the new system. It's the same thing Flores was doing. You know how everybody played 2 or 3 positions in OTAs, giving versatility just in case you needed to call on the guy to play another position. But Trill Williams is a guy who should be being worked out as safety as well. Why? Because at the end of the day, cornerback is going to be hard to get playing time. Ramsey and X going to be on the field quite a bit. And obviously, Nick Needham, they really covet him and hope that he's going to be back to his form because that's his job. That is his job. They love Needham in the slot. And this is the right move to be training Trill, knowing that he's going to be a backup corner, but also getting him some safety reps because Eric Rowe is no longer here. And that's something they're going to have to really look into, making sure they have the necessary depth at that position. Low key, I'm not going to talk about it much because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I think the team is actually losing favor with Brandon Jones, believe it or not. You know, I know we don't talk about it as Dolphin fans. You know, we just always give kudos to all these players. Brandon Jones did not have a good season last year, and then when he got hurt, that's also not good in itself. And they brought in a guy who plays the position that is better. Deshaun Elliott is a better safety than Brandon Jones. It's something that just keep your eyes out for. Brandon's going to have to come back from this injury and really actually improve his play. Most of the time we just try to hope they come back from the injury and pick up where they left off of. Brandon's going to have to come back from the injury and actually elevate his play. And we're hoping that Fangio can help him do that. You know, this system may be very friendly to a lot of these guys, but it has to transform on the field. All right. So Trill Williams getting some reps at safety. And Mike McDaniels said it pretty much had everything to do with versatility, which you'll see a lot of that right now in camp. All right. Somebody said Brandon Jones improved in coverage last year. Yeah, is that what your eyes are telling you? Yeah, I'm just curious. Is that what your eyes from the games are telling you? Because I really don't know what you're talking about. He actually struggles mightily in coverage. He's actually one of the league's worst in coverage. I'm just being honest. So if you're looking at just your eyes, you're remembering a play he may have made here and there. Everybody makes a play here and there, but you also got to remember how many plays there are. Just in case, I always like to, look it up just in case. Well, I guess you're right. He improved in coverage last year, so I stand corrected, but it ain't saying much. His rookie year, he was a 59.2 in coverage. He went down to a 48.6, and he improved to a 52.4 in coverage. That's his coverage grades, the last row. I'm at the bottom going year by year. The last row is coverage. So there's 5 rows here. One is his overall grade, which he was a 61.1, which is poor. The next one is his run defense, which was his strong suit last year. The next one is his tackling, which was, average, decent. The next is his pass rush, which is average, decent, which we loved the year before under Flores. That's why we fell in love with him, the stuff he did in the backfield with quarterbacks and stuff. And then last row is coverage. It's just not good in coverage. Matter of fact, coverage is what's hurting him as an overall player. He's a solid tackler. He gets, a good pass rush. You know, he's improved in his run defense, but he is really bad in coverage. Somebody said, so from trash to bad. I ain't trying to knock it. I just try to tell y'all what I believe. People disagree, then I bring them the receipts, and sometimes people get mad when I bring receipts because it proves that I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. All right. So that's why I say Brandon Jones. That's why, you get cross play with Trill Williams and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see. But you'll be surprised. See, Fangio's defense, he'll shock you. He'll throw Brandon Jones in a nickel on a play, but he really going to send him on a blitz because that's one of his strong suits. He want to put him in a position to succeed. But I don't know if Fangio really wants him out there in that secondary a lot. But he might put him on a play call where he wants to blitz off the edge. He might send him in at nickel and disguise it and send the blitz. He might send him in at corner and disguise it to send the blitz. He might even put him at an outside linebacker on a play and send the blitz. So you might have some of that, we'll see. We'll see. All right. But remember what I told you. Remember what I told you with the Brandon Jones situation. All right. All right. Moving forward, they also asked Mike McDaniel. Keena Rankin said, but wouldn't that show your hand though? It would after you've done it a lot. But early in the season, you in the third quarter and you got Brandon Jones in there at the nickel. You're not thinking about it real time. You're just getting a sub package and they think he going to safety, and then you notice, oh, he's at the nickel. Oh, they tried him at you don't know, you could get some plays in like that. So, I mean, it'll take the best of the best quarterbacks like a Brady to say, oh, I got Brandon Jones on the field. I'm finna take advantage of him. Oh, wait, they put him at the nickel. This is all out of place. Running back, just in case he blitz. Keep an eye on him. Because Brady's studying this stuff. I mean, Brady's gone, but that's the type of quarterback you'll need to recognize it. Brady, the type of guy that says Brandon Jones, or I'm going to pick on him. The only thing he's strong at is on blitzes coming to the quarterback. Oh, running back. Pick him up just in case. Keep an eye on him. If he drop back in coverage, hit that flat. You communicate. So, and ain't many of them got brains like Brady had. So you're going to put him in scheme-specific things and maybe take advantage of it. And also put him at the nickel and it might be zone coverage and, he's playing that area. If it's an obvious pass situation, that can happen too. So, again, Fangio just got to be creative. He got to, we'll see how it works. We'll see. All right. Let's keep it moving. He brought up Isaiah Wynn, and I really wanted to hear about this and what his thoughts were. And it was actually interesting to me. Again, I'm not a fan of Isaiah Wynn, but I do think that this kid could have an opportunity to win a job, y'all. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know, but this is just where I am with it. Let me say what McDaniel said first, and then I'll give you my thoughts. So on Isaiah Wynn, he basically said that Wynn raises the competition, okay, and the competitiveness. So right there, you automatically, he's competition, obviously, right? He's been awesome and getting work at several spots. So they've been working him at guard. They've been working him at tackle. Both sides, I'm pretty sure. If I was to guess, they're working him at both tackles and left guard. Okay. And his opportunity to win playing time at some positions. So he said he's getting work at several spots and has opportunity to win playing time at some positions. Now, when you say it win playing time, you automatically view him as a backup. So what does that tell me? He can win playing time as obviously as Teron Armstead's backup if he gets hurt, because he is a good left tackle. He can win playing time on the right side. He can win playing time at guard due to injuries. But then he finished by saying, players' play will determine who starts and who's a backup. So it is an open competition. I think that right now they view him as not the starter, but good depth at multiple spots. But when training camp comes, he can steal something. If he's performing well, he can steal a job. And it looks like the way McDaniel kind of spoke of him, he's going to be on the roster unless he bombs in camp. Okay. This is just the sense I'm getting from Mike and what he said, but I think he can. There's a home here for him for multiple reasons. Maybe a starter on one side, Armstead goes out. You got to, and say he does win the right tackle starting job, just hypothetically, not saying he will, but say he does. If Armstead goes out, you're going to kick him to left tackle and then have Jackson at right or whoever. So he brings a lot of flexibility, and we still don't know what he can do on the inside potentially. So we'll see. All right. All right. McDaniel on Andrew Van Ginkel. They asked him about him playing inside linebacker. McDaniel basically responded in so many words. Vic Fangio and his defensive staff feels he's at the point in his career where he can handle it. But at the end of the day, it's more flexibility. So he's still an outside pass rusher. This provides flexibility. You know, he could do both in the event that you need him to play on the inside. But the coaching staff feels that he can handle it because he understands passing lanes and rush lanes. So this is just another flexibility move. And, you know, we're thin on the inside and we got to figure it out. So Fangio said, let's take Van Ginkel and let's work him out here, see if we can get him to a point where he can perform at that position. So I need you all to understand, bringing Van Ginkel on the inside ain't this blockbuster move. It ain't this, oh boy, Van Ginkel on the inside now. It's about to be nasty. We about to, ooh. That's not what it is. Now, can it turn out to be that? Absolutely. It could be a blessing in disguise and we're like, man, this is nasty. This was genius. It could. But in its initial stages, this is experimental. This is, hey, let's see how it works because we're thin on the inside. And let me say this too. I've been saying this since day one. I keep getting more and more concerned about Tyndall. You know, when you bring in guys, you know, big, good guys too for the inside, and you start talking Van Ginkel inside, you already got Jerome. What do they really think about Tyndall? The guy we never hear anything about. And I keep saying this to y'all. Some people get mad at me. Tyndall's fine. He's going to ball this year in X, Y, Z. Why is he never a part of these conversations? Why are there always constantly moves that discount him? Never can have enough good players at every position. But I'm concerned and I need to see otherwise on the field so that I can be in a better place. Because the draft pick that we invested on him, we believe that he could be a major part of our future at that position, which we will need. This is the stuff that gives me the angst that I be getting, man. I just be calm and I be talking Dolphin football and everything is good. This is a great stream going right now. And it's moments like this, y'all seeing a self-intervention moment, by the way, right now. I'm talking myself through it and explaining to y'all what I'm going through mentally with this team. It's freaking moments like this right here. Y'all are witness it. We're having a great stream. We're getting good information. We're having great conversation, delivering facts, everything. It's just a beautiful stream. And the angst just hit me because it's like, Tyndall, I calmly tell you my concerns, but then I think about the bigger picture plan. I'm like, gosh, don't let Tyndall flake out too, because we keep on drafting players that's supposed to replace somebody, and they don't work out to replace them. We can't keep eating this Jerome Baker money when honestly he ain't been worth it. We can't keep eating this money. You're supposed to draft the player that's going to be able to tell you, send his back, send him packing. We got our new guy now. It's getting frustrating. We should have never had to get Teron Armstead if Austin Jackson would have worked out. It just keeps happening. All up and down the roster. Why we got to pay freaking over $20 million a year for Jalen Ramsey because you got Noah Igbenogany wrong. Channing Tindall, you gotta be the guy. You gotta step up this year. You gotta get quality playing time, because they keep making adjustments and changes and bringing in players for the inside linebacker position when you were supposed to be the guy. And I know you were a rookie, but this is second year and they still making moves that are not around you, but disregarding you almost. So this is why I get concerned sometimes with certain positions. I know it's some people, oh, he was a rookie last year, bro. He gonna cook this year. You'll see. And they just keep making, there wouldn't be talk about Van Ginkel in the inside when you already brought in our guy from Tennessee, who's going to be the main guy. When you already got Jerome Baker and you got Tyndall. I mean, they barely would give the man any playing time. Oh, boy. This man played in 4 games last year for a total of 10 plays. They put this man in for 2.5 plays a game. And his overall grade, even in those 10 plays, was a 43 on PFF. A 43. He was a 43 on PFF in those 10 plays. And they pretty much had him in coverage plays. 8 out of his 10 plays were in the secondary. In covering. And that's a small sample size. So it is what it is. But, man, I'm concerned. And let's see if that changes this year. Okay? Let's move on. All right, let's talk Mike McDaniel on Tua. This is a good one. When he was asked about what the training has looked like for jiu-jitsu with Tua, he said some interesting things. Y'all know how I feel about this whole jiu-jitsu training thing. But he said basically it's a focus on how to transfer energy and disperse it, which makes sense. To not have central impact. It's a lot of strategic falling patterns to a lot of the hits from last season. Core strength is very important when trying to transfer energy. So the top of your torso isn't just free to whip on the ground, okay? So what he basically is saying is this. What he's learning is how to transfer energy and disperse it. You know how, he hit the ground and bam, his head hit. That's a central location. Bam. They're trying to teach him how to hit the ground and maybe spread the impact out so it's not just bam, his head, but maybe rolled over and it was bam, his side. But that one hit wasn't impactful. It was a bang. You know how if you jump out of a 3rd-story building, you don't really want to land on your feet because you might just break your bones crushing down, centered. But instead, you want to kind of sideways, leg side, head, like disperse the energy. I don't know if that makes sense to some of y'all. But I've seen people jump out of 3, 4, 5 story buildings and get up walking. But every time, if they jump straight down feet first, they ain't getting up. They got bones broken all the way up. But when you notice the people that get up walking, the way they fell, it wasn't just bang centered. It was like a roll off. So that's what they're trying to get him to do more. I just personally think that everything happens in such a split second that I think it's all crap. Now, if he has time to, I think what they're trying to help him do is say, okay, the hit is coming. Let me deliver this ball and then go through my training. I think that's what they're trying to help him with. The hits that he knows is coming. So when he delivers the ball, he knows I'm about to get hit and there's nothing I can do. So let me start. Bam. All right. Let me make sure that I fall open, or instead of just letting my body go. I think that's what they're trying to help. But what bothers, that's the only way it makes sense, right? But what bothers me is them ain't the ones that he really more so got the concussions on. Think about the Green Bay game if it was a concussion. When he got his legs wrapped, he didn't even see it coming. It was just like, oop, boom. He didn't even see the guy. He was going, he threw it. Oh, he got my legs. Bang. Ain't nothing you could do about that, in my opinion. But from when the guy wrapped your feet to when your head hit the ground, it all happened in less than a second. I just don't see how you can. No. So that's what I think is happening, though. So they're trying to strengthen his core, because strengthening your core can keep your neck up stronger. If you hit, it may not bang. So it's a lot. So I can see now, so for the record, now I can see where it could help after getting it explained today. But that's more so on the throws where I'm about to get hit. So now I know when I release that ball, let me go into a protective form, or if I can't, while I'm getting hit, now I know I need to try to disperse that energy. But that ain't going to stop the ones from where he don't see it, because them be happening in split seconds. Those be happening in split seconds. So if it's going to help prevent injuries anyway, that's all that matters. I don't care if it was 2%. Hey, work on it, because his career, this team's success is going to rely on him heavily. So we'll see. Time will tell. Okay. So he also did go on to talk about how, he's loving how he's handling the offseason. Everybody's just trying to get better. There's one last thing that Mike McDaniels said in the press conference that I want to spend a little time on, okay? I want to spend a little time on this because I hope everybody understands my heart on this channel and understands where I try to come from. I know a lot of times people would dub me the negative guy or blah, 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 right? Always nitpicking stuff, always talking about what we did wrong, blah, 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 right? I get that a lot. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a NFL coach. I never coached high school, never coached middle school. TD coached Little League. I've coached Little League. I've won some championships in Little League. I've lost some in Little League. But the most experience I have in coaching is Little League football. As a member of management in corporate America, I was a great coach to, the employees that worked under me, helping all of them get promoted, improving their numbers. I was a great coach doing that, because that's coaching as well. And also, even as a section leader in college, coaching, making sure you're teaching the parts, making sure that it's all together. I have that level of experience in the arena of coaching, because coaching is coaching, okay? But let me say this. Since I have that in me, I am what you call somewhat a perfectionist, but not a perfectionist. And let me tell you what I mean. This is how I live my life sometimes. I don't believe in perfection, but I believe in whatever, I can't even explain it. Whatever the closest thing is to it, I believe in that. Because I don't believe anything is perfect. But I do believe in whatever the closest thing to what perfect is. That's what I do believe in. And how do you strive for that? Because a lot of people, they make an excuse in life. They say, man, you just want him to be perfect. I don't want anybody to be perfect, but I want him to be whatever the closest thing there is to it. That's where I want him to be, because I believe that's attainable. So how do you get there? You don't get there by, oh, look at what you did well. Oh, look at how good you did that. Oh my gosh, let's just keep on watching how good you did this. Oh my gosh, that was great. That was pretty dope right there. Oh, I like that. Oh, look at how you did that, or look at how you did this. You don't get there by doing that. The only way you get there is by focusing on the things that you can improve on, the things you didn't do well. That's why I am the way I am with this team. When I break them down, I am looking for what we didn't do right. I am looking for how we can get better. I am looking for our weakness. I am looking for our downfalls. I am looking for the areas in which we need to improve. I am looking for improvement at every level. If you can be a 10 out of a 10 player and you're a 9, I'm going to say what's keeping you from being at 10. That's what I am. That's who I am. And I know Mike McDaniels is going to be a great coach because it's who he is. So in his interview, he says, I didn't look at the offense and say, look at all the good stuff we did well. I saw all the stuff we can improve on. Not to minimize improving 25 spots in the league wide ranking, but it's not where we're trying to go. We need to be better. For example, pre-snap penalties, we were the worst in the league. Even McDaniel, he said it. Let me read the first sentence again. I didn't look at the offense and say, look at all the stuff we did well. He didn't do that. When the offseason came, he didn't say, let me see what we did well. Why are we looking at what we already know? We're trying to get to new heights. We only need to focus on the things we didn't do well, the areas we need to improve. So when he's in that building, just like a year ago when he took all those throws from Tua that could have had improvement, he was showing him. This ain't no time for, coddle people and make them feel good and show them all the good stuff. It's all about what you're not doing well so you can correct some of them. You're never going to correct them all, but you want to have as minimal things as you possibly can that you struggle with. But how are you going to do that if you're not talking about what you're not doing well? So I say that to say this. I want us to win. I want this team to win Super Bowls. I want this team to be the best team, period. And as somebody who covers the team, how am I helping fans or benefiting you, giving you content, unless I'm showing you our flaws so that we can keep an eye out? This is the only thing we should be looking for. We're terrible at pre-snap penalties. So let me look at, when we're looking, that's what we should be looking for. Did y'all see the video yesterday that came out with Miami and OTAs where the receivers were lining up 2 by 2 and they were looking at the ball and they would move? They would look at the ball and they would move. Did anybody see that? Did anybody see that video that was released yesterday from OTA? Let me know in the comment section where the wide receivers were lined up and they were coming off the snap of the ball and moving. Anybody? Let me know in the comment section, man. While I move this out the way. I seen it. No, Tua does not command the offense. Anybody else seen it? Is Scummy the only one that saw the video from OTAs yesterday? Receivers doing drills coming off the line of scrimmage. So basically, they were lined up 2 by 2. When the ball moved, is the hike hike, and they go. Hike, and the next two go. Hike, and the next two go. Did y'all notice out of the 6 receivers, there was one receiver that had a false start on that drill? Did you notice that? And who was that receiver? If you saw it yesterday, who had the false start on theirs? Which receiver had the false start? If you saw it yesterday, I'm going to see if anybody get it right. All the receivers got it right, and one receiver had a false start. Color got it. It was Jalen Waddle. His was a false start, right? But here's the interesting part. This is what kills me about our community. Somebody posted that video, and they said the Dolphin haters are quiet today because usually they be complaining about Waddle's false start here. And I saw it, and I was like, I'm a hater. Because mentally right now, I'm complaining about that false start. I am. Why do I have to be a hater if I say Waddle need to clean up the false start? Dang, TD, you can't let nothing live. It's OTAs, it's practice. God, dog. But what is McDaniels saying right here? I looked at the things we did wrong. And he said, pre-snap penalties. We were the worst in the NFL. Do y'all get my point here? So if I sit here and I say, Waddle need to clean up the false start, why y'all crying to me about me nitpicking when we were the worst team in the NFL last year on pre-snap penalties? And I'm glad that all of this worked out this way because it was perfect timing to show you why our fan base they're so content with just being mediocre. They don't want to push their own team. They don't want to nitpick they don't want to. This is why. McDaniel out his own mouth today said we were worse than the NFL in pre-snap penalties. But then somebody puts a post out on Twitter. The haters are quiet today. Usually they be complaining about Waddle's false start. Shouldn't we be? We were dead last in pre-snap penalties last year. Shouldn't we be? And this is what I'm talking about. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Maybe people aren't haters out here. Maybe they just care about the team more than you do. It'll be better off if you say, the people that care about the team more than I do, they are quiet today because usually they'll be complaining about Waddle's false start. But you don't want to do that, do you? You don't want to feel like anybody cares about the team more than you. But that's the reality. There are people out here that care about the success of the team more than the general fan, and the general fan can't even see it, and they mistake it for hating. So, ladies and gentlemen, this channel ain't gonna never change. Understand that now. When we see something that is out of place, we're gonna call it out, and I don't care if that means we call out a million things on one play. Dang, you nitpicking everything. Good coaches nitpick. It's what gives you the proper mechanics, the proper fundamentals. It's what makes good players great. The small details. And the crazy thing is, every Hall of Famer would tell you that. It's about the details, the smallest little thing. They'll tell you that. So that's what we do on this channel. That's what we're going to continue to do on this channel. We're going to talk about the things that we do well, but we're also going to break down the things that we struggle with, why we struggle, what we need to do to improve it. Exactly. Scar 305 said, but those same people won't tell Mike, dang, you nitpicking, shaking my head. No, of course they won't. The truth of the matter is, when you have somebody who's nitpicking and bringing up all this stuff, the typical fan doesn't like it because they only want to hear good things about their team. Let me tell you something that I realized recently. And y'all tell me if you think I'm wrong or right. And it might be a revelation to y'all. This is what I realize about fans. Social media messed them up. The role of a fan used to be cheer your team on, hope for the best, look for the good news that's going to boost you up and get you excited for the season. But what social media has done in independent journalism, I guess, or independent think like people like me who's not bought by a network or anything like that, here's what it's done. It's allowed you to dissect what's going on without consequence. So now the PR game isn't as strong as it used to be. That's why us as Dolphin fans, we used to get sold every year on hope. People say this all the time. The one thing that the Dolphins are undefeated at is giving us new hope every year. No, regardless how good or bad the roster is, the one thing they're undefeated at is giving us new hope every year. That's strong PR. But social media, YouTube, what it's done, it put a little wrench into that, into the game that they run on us. Because now you have people like me dissecting it all, going to training camp, giving you the real scoop of what's being seen. And it's making people start to think about it, the team as a whole, and not be so sold on the lies and the pipe dreams. Let me give you an example. Name someone in media for the Miami Dolphins that you know for a fact it's their main job to sell the team. Watch this. Watch the comment section. Name someone. Name someone. No matter what happens, they're going to spin it to the best in media. This is going to be interesting. Put it in the comment section. Name some of the people. Jackson, Omar, Wingfield, Joe. Now, do you see some of these people that get exclusive interviews at the training facilities? Normal members of management, they don't work for the Dolphins, right? But they get exclusive premier interviews at the training facility. Do you notice certain people now get to go in the media room that weren't before? Now, you see what I'm saying here? It's a business. The NFL wants to make sure every team is presenting and selling themselves to excite the fan base, to get you to spend money, buy tickets, go to the games, boost the TV ratings and excitement. It's a business. And they do it on every level. And if you're somebody like me, I don't expect to ever truly get in the building. I've already done certain things to get in. They've given me requirements. They've made me a member of media. They send me the invites to all the off-field media events. They told me do this for a year or two, do all the off-field events, and then we'll consider you to be for the on-field events. But I already know what time it is. I don't think I would ever get in that building because I'm raw. I'm giving a raw opinion of what's really going on. And I knew it because for the last 4 years of training camp, every day on Twitter in training camp, we get about 20 tweets from every beat writer on plays. And when I start going to training camp, I'm noticing there's over 150 plays that could be tweeted about. And I did the comparison on this channel 2 years ago already. A great deep ball to whoever, All of them tweeted. The next one is a dropped interception. They'll tweet out, "Good job by Nick Needham. Almost picked it off." Who did he almost pick off? None of them name it. So we know what time it is already. But I understand. Y'all need to understand as well. You shouldn't attack these guys because of it. It's their job. They're doing their job. Do you think a major news outlet is going to want to keep them employed if the team says he can't come to our media sessions anymore? Then what good is he as a beat writer at that point, when you haven't built relationships to where you can get the interviews and write your papers and stuff? So don't look at it as a negative thing from these beat writers. They're not doing anything wrong. They're doing their jobs. They don't want to alienate themselves. So I don't look at them and say, oh, they sellouts or they this. No. A lot of time you should stop attacking them. They're just doing their job. It's a fine balance. And I give some of them more credit because they find creative ways to tell you the truth, but you got to read between the lines. Some of them, or they've at least tried to. But one in particular, I'm disappointed in big time. I started to get a lot of truth from this individual. And I was like, you know what? He's being honest. I like this. At first, I used to say he's a sellout. But now I'm seeing the tweets and everything, and he's being honest. Then all of a sudden, he disappears. And as soon as it's time, I gotta be back in media again. All of a sudden, the love obsession and the fanfare came back, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. And I was shocked, man. I actually had the utmost respect at that point for this person. But as soon as he had to get back in the building for whatever reason, I don't know, the Kane came right back. And I'm like, hey, I mean, overly. And sure enough, right back in the building. Oh my gosh. This is the game. This is the game. And it is sad. But they're doing their job. Everybody got a living to make. Everybody got a living to make, man. So, but that's why you have people like me. Unapologetically honest. And if you notice, a lot of times I don't tell you what is going to happen. I just tell you what I believe could happen. Okay. TD, what you think about Big O Show? I don't watch it much. I used to have a lot of things that I didn't like, but I don't watch it enough to have a fair opinion. But I will say that from a business standpoint, I think they're doing a great job. You know, they do a lot of good advertising. They're moving numbers. They're growing, and I think that there's a good business formula over there. But from a content standpoint, when I used to check in here or there a few years ago, you know, a lot of things was like, yes, I don't really rock with it. But again, nobody's content is for everyone. So I don't have really a content opinion on the show. But one thing I'll tell you is he's consistent, I believe, and that's an important factor in this business, and that's a big ups to him and what they're doing over there. So go check them out. If you've never heard of them, go check them out. Give them a chance. If you like it, you know, support. If not, then, you know, it ain't for everybody. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion. if you notice when people ask me stuff, because I believe that show has big time differences than some of the beliefs I have, but not you, but a lot of people would ask that question to see if they can get some type of division or spark. I'm gonna always big ups every creator, even if we agree or disagree. I just wish everybody was like that. Um, but yeah, but again, when it comes to content creation, y'all have to be the final decision maker. You guys have to be the final decision maker in all content creation. There's people that want other people's content to die out here. You know how many people want my content to die and just go away? Y'all make the decision to listen to me so you keep me alive. I mean, it's all about the consumer, the person listening. Do they rock with you? Do they support you? At the end of the day, you know. Um, for respect, I ain't finna say anything, but let's just say, big, you know what? Again, and I might have personal opinions, but I don't think it's appropriate. I used to kind of hint to them, but I don't think certain things are appropriate to do live anymore. I've got to a point, just let people be. That's their lane. I'm gonna stay in mine. Even if they come in mine, I try to bump them out. Like, I ain't got no problems. Just go. You know, it's just where I'm at with it. I know I rock with you, TD. I know you do shake money. That's why I appreciate you, homie. Thank you, sir. Thank you as well for saying that publicly. All right. And I see everybody's comments about the racist things and stuff like that. You all have to decide on your own. I'm not gonna deem anybody anything when I don't know them personally. It's just how I am. Out of respect to you, TD, I know how your show rocks. LOL. You know. Yeah. But yeah, this show is gonna always look at the issues this team has. Because until we correct the issues, what are we doing it all for? Don't we all want the Lombardi, the Super Bowl? That's what it's all about. TD, you are very respectful and with people's takes at TD Fans Talk. Great content, TD, said Fred. Well, let me say this. I'm glad you said that. You said that I'm very respectful and with people's takes. Well, if you really notice, that's what's missing out here. You know how people out here be warring and oh yeah, you know how people be out here fighting and warring and hating each other and all of that stuff, man. No, people just can't respect other people's opinions. It's something that happens societally, if that's the right word to use. This is a societal issue, not just sports. This is a society issue. People don't know how to just allow people to have their own opinion. If you don't have the same opinion as me, you're as good as dead to me. It's like, when did that start? It's it's been prevalent for over 10 years now. And it came on the scene instantly. I don't think people noticed it, and I don't think they notice it now. How nasty a lot of us can be and have been. I've even repented on some occasions. It's become real bad, you know, in every arena, sports, politics, so many things. It's like, how can that make you hate somebody? Words. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't care what it is and how bad it is. Somebody's opinion Somebody's opinion will make you hate. And me, I'm the type of person, even if it's a divisive opinion, it's still an opinion. As long as it's not physically harming me, and I do mean physical, I just don't get it. But a lot of people in today's world say, yeah, but it may emotionally harm you. Man, I'm sorry. This is where the rubber meets the road in my life. I ain't got time for all that, all these feelings, all these feelings out here. Feelings, feelings, feelings. Man, and that's the problem. It's the feelings that are taking over. We're not building any what's the word? Moxie in people anymore. It used to be when I was growing up. This is just a little that little weak saying. It's like sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Man, we done just obliterated that saying. Sticks and stones can hurt my bones, but words are the worst to me. That's what it's become. And it's sad because deep down you want to say it's become a soft society, but people get mad at you for saying that it's soft society because some people are listening to this right now and they're clicking off like, so, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't get it. I'm sorry, man. I don't get it. And when you call people out for it and they realize it, they hate you even more because I've done a lot of that. You know, even in sports, I don't think Tua is a franchise quarterback. Oh, I can't stand you. You're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Dang, why are you being so soft? All I did is gave my opinion. Why does it hurt you so much? And when they really think about it, dang, that does make me look weak. And he has a point. Now I hate him even more because he exposed my weakness. That's what's really happening out here. It's like the unsaid words. Their body is feeling that. Dang, why am I reacting like this about another man? That is kind of weak. That is kind of weak. And when they realize that, they get even more mad at you because you're really exposing their weakness. But they don't say that and they don't realize that, but deep down in their soul, they have a feeling of it, and that's why they really don't like you. That's why they really don't like you. I see people in the comment section, I blame this, I blame that. It ain't none of these people's fault. I see y'all in the comment section. I blame Trump, I blame Obama, it ain't none of their fault. It ain't none of their fault. The reality is we're just being manipulated. It's all manipulation. Because to be honest with you, a lot of us are victims. A lot of us are hardworking Americans that work every day. You go to work, you go to school, you trying to provide for yourself or your family, trying to be a good husband or a good father or a good mother. And when you look at what life takes to keep it going, you don't have time to have your own opinion. And society and the media has taken advantage of that. So where do you go to get your quick opinion so you know which side you're on? You go listen to other people. And those people are the real perpetrators who are twisting, manipulating, fabricating the true information to get you to believe what they believe, or get you to believe what they don't believe, but they need you to believe it, on every side of every aisle. On every side of every aisle. They're throwing so much information at you, hoping that you don't have enough time to research it, which you don't. And the more they throw at you, the more that'll stick. And it starts to become your identity, and you start to associate with the side. That's what's happening. Let me give you an example, a football example. Yesterday, there was a tweet that came out, and I read the tweet. And the first thing I said, I went just like this after I read it. What? I went just like that. Now, if I didn't have the time, I would go on to the next thing and go, okay? But it was a manipulative tweet. It was a true lie and a false fact. You know what that tweet was? It was a tweet that the Miami Dolphins have re-signed wide receiver Preston Williams. Had his picture up there. It came directly from Miami's Twitter. I'm like, this is legit. It's from Miami's Twitter. I click on it. This is their official Twitter. But the typical American doesn't have the time to just scroll down 3 inches to see that, oh, it's an old tweet from 2022. I thought it was new. So imagine how much information gets pushed on you every day if you're a scroller and you're not researching each and every one. If they throw 10 things out at you, 8 of them might stick, and 2 of them you're like, oh, that's not real. But all 10 of them may have not been real. So, and I say that example to tell you what's happening out here with real life situations, with politics and everything. We're being manipulated at the greatest scale. And it ain't just happening for ourselves. You got this party manipulating people to keep them on their side. You got that party manipulating people to keep them on their side. This party notices that they're manipulating, so they got to manipulate their people more just to keep them. And they're like, oh, they done ramped up their manipulation. We got to manipulate even more over here for our people and keep them. People are in the middle of a manipulation game, and they're just manipulating you even harder and harder just to keep you on the side. And they keep their points that they're right about, because both sides have points that they be right about. And they throw them out there in the front with more and more manipulation on the back end. And that's what's happening out here, man. And this is what's making it tough in society. And you just wish we had a society where everybody can calm down and we can give people a relax and a reprieve to take the time. You know what would be beautiful? Like, even from a bigger picture of this country, you know what would be beautiful? This is what would be amazing. It would be amazing if this country, right? So say an election is on November 1st, whatever day it is. Just say it was November 1st. It would be beautiful if in this country every 4 years, every American, like, it's like a sit-in, 4 days. Every American is off from work. Everybody's preparing for these 4 days. They're going grocery shopping, doing everything. Nothing's open. Your job for those 4 days, and is a paid 4 days at work. Your job is to sit down on one network and look at every issue, tell the pros, tell the cons, and let the people decide what they believe. And like, you actually have one network that isn't biased. They could care less. They don't even like neither. They don't even like America, probably. They're just like, should we be drilling offshore? Like, just take an issue. Well, if you do drill offshore, it will reduce energy costs, the consumption. It would bring down the cost of gas in the US to put more money in people's pocket. It would allow us to export, which is sell to other countries, so we can maybe bring our debt ceiling down, finally make a profit as a nation. And they list all the good things, and then they list all the bad things. If there's a leak, you remember what happened in the Gulf. That wasn't bad for the environment. It could also have impacts on this and impacts on that. And, and they list all the bad things. But people can decide on their own where they stand on the issue. Because here's where the problem comes. When you put two representatives on a stage and they're debating drilling offshore, we should drill, bring the gas prices down. Then they start the manipulation of, aren't you struggling at home to pay your bills? Do you want to pay $4 a gallon, or do you want to pay $2? They start touching your heartstring, right? That's a form of manipulation, whether they're right or not. It's a form of manipulation. Then the other side, oh no, but he's lying because of this or that or that or this. It's a lie. And then, how does drilling offshore in a 10-minute debate back and forth turn into a race issue or a LGBTQ issue? The last 6 minutes spent on a totally different issue. We ain't getting nothing resolved. Every time we talk about an issue, it ends with a whole nother conversation. This is why it's all manipulation. It's all manipulation. And the losing side typically is the first one to bring up another topic within the topic that's being talked about. So this is why it's like people need to just sit down at a TV in front of one network that can care less about what's happening in this country and let them tell you all the pros that's been listed and all the cons, so you don't have voice inflection. You don't have, the tone isn't different, so you can sympathize. Everybody got their story. My grandmother, she struggled for years to try to pay for her gas. And then the other side, my grandmother worked hard, and regardless of the price, it was better for the country. And she paid, all the heartstring stuff, all that stuff got to get out the window because they're taking advantage of emotion. All that stuff got to go, man. But yeah. And on this channel, I ain't saying one way is better than the other because everybody doing it. If you point the issue and say it sounds like this channel, yeah, you're right. But whatever channel you watching, it sounds like them too. But you may not see it because that's the one you watch. They're the ones who are manipulating you. So they all. And here's the biggest piece that I want to bring to y'all. They be right. They'll make the correct statement that is true, but then they add their manipulation on top of it. And that's where they get you. They give you a true lie and a false fact. What they're saying is true, and they do a good job showing their perspective of true. But they may omit or this or that. And that's why everybody thinks their side is right. They all manipulating. I don't care what. Listen, I listen to CNN. I can hear what they say that's true, and I can tell where they're manipulating. I listen to Fox. I can see what they're saying is true, and I can see where they're manipulating. It's how it works. It's a game and they both playing it. Who's going to play it best? But now the game is being played in ways that you won't even notice. It's big now. Now they playing with, I guess, in my opinion, the voting. I'm gonna leave it alone. I ain't finna go deep. Y'all had me going into a whole nother. I've already gone into a whole nother stratosphere, but I ain't gonna go too much more deep. But yeah, man. You were talking about national news before 2000 when news was not op-ed called new. Yeah. Anthrax vaccine was more than 4 shots, FYI. I ain't know there was an anthrax vaccine. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. TD, you follow Fizz? Yeah, I do, John. I follow every Dolphin creator I follow. Well, subscribe more so. Yeah, every single one of them. All of them. Everybody in our community, I think I've subscribed to. At least I believe I have. If I see somebody new, I hit that subscribe button. But yeah, even if they like me or don't like me, I subscribe. I support. You and Doug need to get together again. Surprises are on the way. Bigger than you think. Oh man. Someone explained to me how we have more technology but more homeless. Well, that's easy. First of all, you'll always have homeless because of the society that we're in. These are big conversations. I love these conversations. And I have a platform that I want to start talking about these conversations. I just have to gather the time to have these conversations. Filter free. I love to answer all these questions. Someone said, TD FINSTALK, what is a woman? LOL. Remove the LOL. You ain't got to put that there. What is a woman? I want to have those conversations. So, you know what I might do? I might just, get that other platform just going and maybe do some nighttime conversations, hit the live button at 10 p.m. Yeah, hit the live button at 10 p.m. and have an hour and a half conversation answering questions like that. And my thoughts. And answer them without joking, but seriously, because there's a lot of stuff happening right now that's like, your boy over it. Yeah, your boy is over it. It's like, man, maybe I ain't. Listen, I just need to get the other platform going and separate that conversation because y'all really trying to set me up, get all kind of people in their feelings and stuff. Because if y'all ain't noticed by now, I give you the rawest of my opinion, and I don't be too responsible about how other people feel about it. If y'all noticed that by now, so y'all set me up in some of this on the Fence Talk. So we'll save that for another platform. All right. So you pick Greer and McDaniels, and what was that? And you stick with them. Who, me? Are you talking to me, Glenn? You might be talking to somebody else. Homeless people have cell phones. Yeah, paid for by the government through the dollars of our taxpayers. So yeah, they have cell phones. They do have cell phones. That is correct. I think the current climate, people feel they have the right to disrespect other people. Yeah. But again, let me say this. When we say the right to disrespect other people, again, a lot of that is in the form of words. And people need to adjust to this climate and understand that they're just words. It is a choice to be offended. Being offended is a choice. That is a choice. I mean, if you saw my inbox on Twitter and the stuff people say about me, it's a choice whether I want to be offended or not. And I choose to never be offended. Some of the most vile, disrespectful stuff. Most of the time I reply and be with a laugh, like, or, yep, I agree. Did that change anything? So, TD Smooth Radio, man, ain't smooth. My opinions are raw. TD, apparently the defense played well in OTAs today. Are they coming out with the info? Let me see if we got OTA info. Hold on, y'all. I'm just trying to see if we get some. All right, impressive start for the defense, particularly in the communication rotation aspect of the coverage. We saw plenty of check downs as they were capping, doubling, mixing things up, and ultimately providing excellent coverage. That's good on both sides for me. Auburn, Raekwon had one apiece. Chubb was impactful too. The entire front is flooring. No Trawan, O'Connell on the O-line. Let's pick that one. Okay. Yeah, we got some action. So listen, I'll be live. So it looked like they got some stuff coming out. I'm about to get out of here and go get the boys from school. When I get back home, if everything is good, I got to double check though. But I will be live again. It'll either be around 3:30 or 4, or it'll be early evening around 7. Y'all just turn your notifications on. Because I definitely want to talk about some of this stuff and what it means. All right. Because yeah, they gave us some action today and they got some feedback coming out. All right, yeah, man. We definitely gonna get this in. Love y'all, appreciate y'all, fans up no matter what. Talk to y'all later today. We got to break it all down. Some good stuff I'm seeing. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Peace. I'm out.